Hello everyone, my name is Jose Galvan, and today I'm going to discuss the social structure of New Spain. During the 1500s towards the 1800s, Spaniards made a new system called the caste system. Towards the top of the system were the European-born whites, or peninsulares. Under them were the colonial-born whites, or criollos. Under the criollos were the mestizos, who were mixed blood of native/Spanish races. Then came the Native American Indians, or indigenous people, and lastly, the slaves, who were primarily African American. To begin, I would like to get started on slaves in New Spain. The slaves in New Spain were at the bottom of the social hierarchy. They had no rights. They were slaves to wealthy Spanish and usually were involved in the sugar industry and crops industry as well. And over time, they started to disappear as a social group. Mexican Indians were the second from the bottom of the hierarchy and were not allowed in government. These people were a conquered people and were mainly used for agricultural purposes and also used during mining. Mestizos were another group that consisted of Spanish and Indian blood mixture. Legally, they had some power, but positions of influence or higher up in society were banned. And in the caste system, they were in the middle of hierarchy. Towards the middle of the 17th century, they developed their own identity, and today they make a high percentage of Latin American populations. Spaniards were at the highest on the hierarchy. They had the most power and usually consisted of wealthy slave owners. Lots of Spaniards also had positions of power, such as in the government, and a lot of them owned slaves as well. Women usually occupied all levels on the hierarchy scale, depending on race, but usually white women had more power. Most of the time, the husband had the power over the wife. Women who had the most freedom were usually non-slave women over the age of 25 and who were not married. For the most part, Spaniards were a Christian faith, primarily the Catholic faith. When the Spaniards started to expand into the Americas, they also tried to convert many of the indigenous populations into Christians, but at the same time punished those who resisted and benefited those who did agree to convert to Christianity. Over time, the Spaniards came to be as a dominant race, as in being able to rule the majority of the Americas. Since they were on the highest of the hierarchy, the benefits that came along were economic privileges, political power, viceroyalty and being rulers of the crown, and being able to conquer the native indigenous people of the Americas. To conclude, many of the benefits of the Spaniards came from being rulers of the people, being wealthy, being owners of lands, and having a lot of slaves. They also made out more than any of the other races on the caste system. And today, Spaniards and Europeans have no doubt benefited a lot from the colonial rule.